Kent Stater TV, Election Night.
Good evening, Portage County, and welcome to KSTV's 2025 election show. I'm Gage Wellman.
And I'm Cole Jones. We start tonight with the passing of former Vice President Dick Cheney.
That's right, Cole. The 46th Vice President in American history, Dick Cheney, passed away last night at the age of 84. Cheney was known as one of the most politically active and powerful vice presidents in the history of our country. The Nebraska native was also known for his strong advocacy for the 2003 invasion of Iraq and the subsequent war on terror. Cheney's legacy lives on with his daughter Liz, who's formerly served as a Republican representative in Wyoming.
Today marks the 35th day of the government shutdown, time for the longest shutdown in United States history. As the Senate is soon to fail the 14th vote on the GOP's temporary plan to reopen the government, they are also met with a stalemate over health care funding. Democrats are considering accepting a vote to extend Affordable Care Act subsidies that are expiring. With no guarantee what passed the Senate, the two-party sessions continue.
Locally, there are a number of issues that voters in the Portage County area that citizens will be able to vote on. For those of you who live in Kent, you'll be able to vote for no more than 3 candidates for city council and school district positions. In Rootstown, voters will decide between 2 candidates, Melissa Roebuck and Wesley Buchanan, for judge of the municipal court and 4 candidates for members of the Board of Education. Now, many voters we've spoken to have told us that they came out to vote for these citywide races and for the Portage County Municipal Court judge race. Well, Cole, one race we're keeping an eye on in Kent is the race for mayor. Democrat Jackie Amrine is running unopposed for the mayorship of Kent. For more information on this race and others in Kent, we turn to Sydney Brown at the KSU Rec Center.
Hi, Gage.
Sydney?
Good evening. It's been a steady turnout here at the Kent State Recreation and Wellness Center, the on-campus voting location here on campus. Now, as we've mentioned, there is a Kent City Council mayoral race happening. Now, the acting mayor, Jackie Amrine has some more things to say about stepping into that new role.
So I want to keep things pretty much the same, pretty much status quo, that when you come to Kent, you're welcomed. You love every minute you're here. We certainly want Kent to be the best place to live in Ohio and maybe even in the United States. We are already a destination. People come here from all over northeastern Ohio.
Amrine is finishing out late Mayor Jerry Fiala's term. Now, as for the rest of Kent City Council, there are a few races we are currently following. Now, there are 3 Kent City Council at-large races happening with 6 candidates. There is also a Kent City School District School Board seat that people are voting on today, but many voters we've talked to have talked about the judge seat for the Portage County Municipal Court. Now, all of these races, Kent Stater TV will be continuing to follow here at the Kent State Recreation and Wellness Center. This steady traffic of voters that's been happening today is notable for the off-year election, but as these polls will be closing at 7:30 p.m., there is still time for you to cast your ballot. Now, reporting in Kent for Kent Stater TV News, I'm Sydney Brown. Back to the studio.
Hi guys, today I'm here with the Vice President of Kent's chapter for Ohio Student Association, Nika Delgado, and we're going to be talking about the importance of today's election. First off, I'd like to say thank you so much for coming in and letting me talk to you today.
Yeah, of course, it's always an honor to be here. I love Kent State.
Yeah, so let's get straight into it. Why is today's election so important for people to go out and vote, even though many consider it to be an off-year election?
Yeah, so there really are no off-year elections. Every single election that we head to is important, right down to the local level. If you care at all about your community or what's going on, you've got to make sure you're showing up to the polls, especially for your local elections. I see a lot of people voting only in the primaries or in the generals, and if you want potholes in your road to get fixed and you want less parking tickets, you should pull up to your local elections.
Yeah, I think that's very true. So specifically, why are students so important? How do they have an impact on this?
Yeah, absolutely. Students are one of the largest voting blocs in the United States right now. And 2 of the most powerful demographics of the United States throughout history have been labor unions and students. And so it is so incredibly important for every single student, no matter which side of the aisle you're on, no matter what issues you're passionate about. It is so important for every single student to get out there, get to the polls, and make sure your voice is being heard.
Perfect. And what are some other ways besides voting that students can get civically involved?
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways students can get involved. A really great opportunity is to get involved in political organizations on campus. I am a representative from the Ohio Student Association, which is a statewide group. We do a lot of really great political engagement, voter registration, canvassing opportunities, but there are so many great options on campus. I'm thinking of United Students Against Sweatshops and Unite for Gender and Reproductive Equity. They're really great groups too.
And then what are the benefits for students when they get involved with politics and civics?
Yeah, so students are the future of not just Ohio, but of America, right? And we want to make sure that students are, having their voices heard and shaping the America that they want to, enter the workforce into, and what, they want to build this nation into. And it is, it's our turn. We are excited to, start doing stuff. So yeah, students should get out there.
Yeah, so is there anything else you'd like to share?
Follow the Ohio Student Association on Instagram at Kent State OSA.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
I hope you all didn't freeze at the polls today, but it has been warm. But however, there was a killer cold wind today. But looking out at our statewide temperatures, pretty nice all around the board. It was a beautiful day. It was a beautiful sunny day. So we had these upper 50s all around. So Athens over here, we have 53, and then similarly in Cincinnati, 55. Columbus, a little bit warmer with 59, but they had a little bit of a cloudy day. Where in Toledo, it's 59 with sun. Akron, Canton, at nice 51, and then Pittsburgh, 53. All right, let's take a closer look. Well, into our own region. So, trying to zoom in here. Here we go. Well, today we had that nice 54 degrees. It was beautiful, it was sunny. There was a little chill today with the wind, that nice 11-mile-per-hour wind, so a light jacket could have been worn. The sunset today, it already happened. It's dark now since it's daylight savings. It is 5:16 p.m. And then tonight, you'll be able to see the full moon. Well, that is all that I have for you at the moment. Curl under a blanket, maybe a Christmas-themed one, and stay tuned for a look ahead at your week.
In Ohio, a new congressional map is drawing strong criticism as its new boundaries strengthen Republican control. This could impact who represents Ohioans for years. Members of the Ohio Redistricting Commission have reportedly tried but failed to stop the new redistricting lines, arguing that it lacks fairness. The ending vote gave Republicans a 12-3 advantage, making more Democrat districts Republican-leaning. Other states have taken steps to update their maps with the intention of adding more Republican House seats.
Okay. Hi Gage, yes, as you said, I'm close to our stomping grounds as I am live in Strongsville where the polls are busy because there's a special election for City Council at large featuring former Kent Stater Managing Editor Anthony Zacharias. Elsewhere in Cuyahoga County, Cleveland's undergoing a mayoral race between current Mayor Justin Bibb and
many Olympians have launched their careers at Kent State University. In track and field, veteran coach Nathan Fanger has propelled 2 star athletes to the Summer Games. Following in their powerful footsteps is Olympic hopeful Gabby Bailey. Gabby's high school coach knew Kent State would be a perfect home for the Jamaican star after seeing the success of one of his former athletes, Olympian Danielle Thomas Dodd.
Kent is a good place to grow because the environment here is unmatched compared to other schools. It's not just a good place for athletes, it's a good place for everybody. Everybody feels supported here.
Coach Fanger helps Gabby grow athletically and academically.
We want to go win conference championships and we want to see people's success outside of track and field, but to get there, you've got to be able to be supportive through the whole process, right? I'm there essentially 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
It's like an experience that you probably won't get anywhere else. And it's just a feeling of being welcome all the time.
There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread and kissed them all soundly.
Lights out.
Good night. And put them to bed. Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org.
Songs, even if they're bad, hundreds and hundreds of them, just to find a good one. Yeah. And then
I've been in this long enough. I feel like I know what I'm doing.
Knowing that you're basically like there and being
with that, but it has a special place in my heart. I grew up watching it so much. Have you guys seen it?
Large school levies in Cuyahoga County are on the ballot in Parma, Richmond Heights, Shaker Heights, and South Euclid-Lyndhurst. The proposed levy for Parma School Emergency Services would generate around $6.9 million, with residents paying $242 annually for 10 years. Highland Heights Issue 11 consists of a $5.9 million levy that, if passed, would fund Highland Heights to safety services. Those account for 60% of the city's budget. In Shaker Heights, Issue 31 consists of a municipal $0.3 million property tax levy to ensure the Shaker Historical Museum has resources to continue their preservation efforts.
That's right, Cole. We go now to more on Cuyahoga County levies, including from my hometown, that's Parma, and their levy. Nikki Gajeski is live from the Cuyahoga County Public Library in Strongsville with more from the school and some updates with the special election in the city.
Seat polls behind me are a little busy. Special race is for City Council at large, where we have former Kent Stater member, managing editor Anthony Zacharias running. We wish him the best of luck in his endeavors. Elsewhere in Cuyahoga County, Cleveland is undergoing a mayoral race between current Mayor Justin Bibb and challenger Laverne Gore. Aside from that, school
what do you
levies
want for the kids here? What kind of experiences do you want kids to have? So this, to me, this is an investment in the future, so that we can make sure that we continue to provide the high quality things that we can do today without having to eliminate those things.
Federal funds, in addition to other financial issues. The levy aims to raise $23 million per year for emergency requirements, which for Hunt can prevent staff cuts and other means meant to benefit students. The issue of school financing won't be over for Parma and other districts, as a statewide flat tax rate has been proposed. Live in Strongsville, I'm Nikki Gajeski.
It's no joke. We've got some cold and rainy days ahead. But before we looked at the impending flakes, let's take a look at tonight. So your weather tonight, it's going to look pretty similar to all the nights that we've seen, with a low of like around 40s, low 40s. So it's going to get a little colder from today, from the usual 50s that we've had, and it's just going to keep going down. However, tonight is going to be a very clear night tonight with clear skies and very little chance of rain. So you will be able to see that full moon tonight. I highly recommend going out and seeing it. But that's gonna be what your night's gonna look like. Let's take a look at tomorrow. So you're gonna see the sunrise at 7:01 a.m. A humidity of 66%. So it's gonna be, a little humid tomorrow. You might see a little bit of showers at night or just throughout the day. And then it's going to be pretty windy tomorrow with 19 miles per hour wind. So it's going to be very windy throughout the day. You're going to see some showers at night. You're going to see clouds throughout the day. Again, full moon tomorrow. Sunset is at 5:15. Let's take a look at your week. Wednesday's high of 61, of course, and then it's just going to keep going down and up, down and up. Thursday, 49 degrees, the high of 49 degrees, low of 36 degrees. It's going to be partly cloudy, and on Friday, that's when the rain's going to come in. And then you'll see next Monday, we're going to see that chance of snow. That's what we're going to look at. That's all that I have for you guys tonight. Enjoy the clear skies and semi-warm weather tonight, as the rest of the week is going to take a cold turn. For KSTV, I'm Lillian Drabick.
In Summit County, one issue on the ballot today focuses on local mental health services. More coming up.
Over the
brush your teeth every day and every night. Now it's your parents' turn. Here's what you gotta do. Let them have your toothbrush so that they can brush your teeth. Good job, you're almost done. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Help your teeth stay healthy. Brush with a grown-up every day.
Kids will spend 15 minutes watching online videos like this one.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes twice a day. They have the time.
Solo stage where the player spends most of it being hunted down by Infinite. The weapon that performed the best here was the Drill Wispen. Its ability to...
He finally is like, I get it now. I get it. I have worth because I'm me. Yeah, and I really liked it a lot. Like, I'm not...
What are you staring at? How do you know it's me? No.
Welcome back. In neighboring Summit County, a $5.75 million levy for fire services and other equipment in New Franklin is being voted on to replace an already expired levy of the same purpose.
Issue 50 in Springfield Township is proposing a $1.5 million continuous levy, generating roughly over $600,000 for police and EMS services.
In Talmadge, a nearly $6 million levy for school services will be voted on.
And finally, a proposed charter amendment known as Issue 2 would limit any increases on property taxes in Summit County. We now go to our own Talia Melwich to discuss Senate Bill 1, another large Summit levy. Talia?
Thanks, guys. Summit County's Issue 1 focuses on renewing and increasing a tax levy in the county. If passed, the additional millage will begin in 2026 with the first tax due in 2027. Summit County's Issue 1 proposes a renewal of the 2.95 mills and an increase by 0.5 mills for the benefit of the Alcohol, Drug Addiction, and Mental Health Services Board.
We have been spending into our reserves over the past couple of years to support increased costs to our services and the Stand Up New programs.
The 2.95 mills has generated about $37 million for the ADM. The board hasn't asked for an increase to that millage for 18 years.
That funding has been in place for quite a long time. It has sustained the system, through the opiate epidemic, through the COVID pandemic.
Due to higher prices and inflation, Wade says losing this funding could be devastating to the community.
This will help make sure that we can sustain a reserve in times of crisis, a reasonable reserve.
The ADM board offers support in prevention, treatment, and recovery in the community. They do receive some state and federal funding, but 77% of their budget comes from this tax levy.
When we talk about our prevention services and the lives that it saved, you can't really put a number to that, or who's seen our education and who it may have made a difference in a decision they made on a particular day.
They provide prevention programming for youth both in school and out, as well as counseling and treatment. The board also funds efforts for those further in their journey, supporting over 100 beds and recovery housing across the community.
If people come out of residential treatment and they don't have anywhere to go, then that's not really helpful to them in sustaining their recovery.
At the increased rate of 3.45 mills, the county estimates the ADM would receive $46.5 million in revenue.
We're hopeful in this off-election cycle that people come out and support mental health.
Welcome to your Kent Staters Sports Update. While today was a big day for the NFL, let's pause for a second and head to the big sports on campus that just started last night. The Kent State men's basketball team opened their season with a hard-fought overtime loss to Troy University, falling 103-97 last night. After trailing early, the Golden Flashes rallied behind Rob Whaley Jr. and Morgan Safford, even taking a late lead before Troy forced overtime and pulled away. Delrico Gillespie led Kent State with 22 points and a double-double before leaving the game with an injury late in overtime. The Flashes return home Friday to host Cornell at 7 o'clock. Speaking of basketball, the Kent State women's basketball team opened their season as well last night with an 80-48 loss to James Madison in the MAC Sun Belt Challenge. Dukes jumped out to a 12-0 lead early and never looked back, holding a 45-18 advantage at the half. Junior Riley Rismiller led the Flashes with a double-double, scoring 10 points and pulling down 12 rebounds. Corinne Hauser also added 10 points in her first game back in nearly 2 years. Kent State hits the road again Friday to face West Virginia. We'll take you to Dallas now. That's Jacoby Brissett filling in for the injured Kyler Murray, leading the Cards in Dallas. Dallas trying to get a lead here, but Jacoby Brissett's going to fire it to Marvin Harrison Jr. for the touchdown. Harrison had 96 total yards on the night, 10-0 Cardinals. But momentum's going to change a little bit here with a blocked punt by the Cowboys special teams. This will be Marshawn Nealon to pick it up in the end zone for the touchdown. It'll be 10-7 Cardinals here in the second quarter, but we're going to stay in that quarter with about 50 seconds to go. Jacoby Brissett going to take it in himself for the touchdown. 3 total touchdowns on the night for him. 17-7 the score now. Third quarter, 12:50 left. Brissett going to pass to tight end Trey McBride, his 5th touchdown of the year, to be 24-7. The Cowboys absolutely getting mauled here. Dak's going to do a play action fake, loft it up to Ryan Flournoy for the touchdown. 24-17 now the score, but it really won't be enough as the Cardinals are going to take this one from Brissett. 27-17, had a great game with the Cardinals. Well, things were certainly wild today in the NFL as we saw a lot of blockbuster trades occur all the way up to the 4 o'clock deadline. Now that things have cooled off, we're going to take you through the craziest moves of the day, starting with a trade that occurred earlier this morning. Wide receiver Jacoby Myers of the Las Vegas Raiders was traded to the Jacksonville Jaguars for a 4th and 6th round pick. Jacksonville gets another weapon for Trevor Lawrence as the Raiders look to stack some picks. And maybe by far the biggest news of the day, you're going to get ready for this one. Sauce Gardner of the New York Jets was traded to the Indianapolis Colts for not 1 but 2 first-round picks and second-year receiver Adonai Mitchell. Colts, they're loading up for a run, and the Jets are just getting a haul in return with first-round picks. New York also traded away all-pro defensive tackle Quinnen Williams to the Cowboys, and wow, what a move that was. Well, deadline day is over, and unfortunately, so is the time I have for you. For more sports updates, check out Sports Corner every Monday and Overtime every Friday. For KSSN, I'm Evan Schofield. Stay tuned for more election coverage.
The collaboration between Kent State and the Cleveland Museum of Natural History is a long-standing one.
Dr. Aaron's experimental lab is really state-of-the-art. It's known internationally.
We can recreate any artifact from the last 3 million years, and the Cleveland Museum of Natural History has pretty much any tool that ancient people use. So we send our students up here to study those examples so they can figure out how to recreate them. And the collaboration led to incredible discoveries right here in Ohio. And it's a dream come true.
Hey, I'm worried about your parents. We need to show them how to spot phishing emails.
Agree, the scammers are out of control.
And we need to show them how to use a password manager. Plus, help them add multi-factor authentication.
Yes, we use MFA at work and it's great. Great cake. I'll use MFA to verify my purchase. Software update? Done. Time to celebrate.
For more information on how to keep yourself and those you care about safe online, go to cisa.gov/secure-our-world.
First, they said cigarettes were safe. Now, they say they didn't market e-cigarettes to teens. Fact. More than 1 in 4 high school students are vaping. Same lies, different day. Tell Big Vape to quit lying.
Welcome back. Well, we here at KSTV, we're covering the mayoral race in New York City.
On National Election CNN, Corinne Kafia has the latest.
Governor's races in Virginia and New Jersey, the mayor's race in New York City, and a California vote that will tee up next year's high-stakes congressional elections, headline Election Day 2025. With a large population of federal workers impacted by the Trump administration's downsizing of the government workforce and the current shutdown, Democratic Virginia candidate for governor and former Congresswoman Abigail Spanberger has tied Republican Lieutenant Governor Winsome Earl Sears to President Donald Trump and his policies to try to boost her campaign. In New Jersey, Republican gubernatorial candidate Jack Ciattarelli, who was endorsed by Trump, has framed himself as a Jersey guy while trying to cast his opponent, Democratic Congresswoman Mikey Sherrill, who moved to the Garden State after her Navy career, as an outsider. And in New York City, Trump urged voters to support former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo over Democratic nominee Zoran Mamdani. Mamdani, a Democratic socialist, has zeroed in on the cost of living in the city, which has resonated especially with young and social media savvy voters. Cuomo, who lost to Mamdani in the Democratic primary and is running as an independent, has argued Mamdani, a 34-year-old state assemblyman, is too inexperienced. And in California, voters are considering a plan backed by Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom to reshape the state's congressional map to improve Democrats' chances of winning 5 GOP-held seats in next year's midterms. It's designed to counter a plan signed into law by Texas Governor Greg Abbott that aims to help Republicans win 5 House seats there. Of course, those 2026 midterm elections are still a full year away, but both parties will be looking for insights into how to turn out voters in their favor when control of Congress is up for grabs next November. In Washington, I'm Karen Kafa.
With an hour to go until polls close at 7:30, politicians are reminding people to get out to vote.
Ohio Secretary of State, Frank LaRose put out an encouragement to vote, with 52,000 absentee ballots needing to be returned. Now, as a reminder, if you still need to vote, polls close at 7:30.
For more election coverage, be sure to return to the Kent Stater. I'm Cole Jones.
And I'm Gage Wellman. Have a great night, Portage County.
State universities in the world find their home away from home.
My dream has always been to come to the United States and play basketball on a college level.
I'm going to be the first graduate in my family. It's a big thing for me.
The faculty members here at Kent State are incredible.
I feel like Kent State, it has all the opportunity in the world.
Northeast Ohio is the ideal place for them to excel athletically and academically. From the moment they arrive, students are surrounded by a network of support that helps them thrive and achieve their dreams.
We are a family, so helping each other out is one of the most important things.
Straight away, I knew I had people that I could count on. As soon as I got here, between coaches, friends that I met pretty early on, I feel like this is a second home now.
This is the place. This is it.
Coach Starkey, he always asks about how you're doing.
Our coaches are so supportive. They make you better athletes, and so many of those qualities are transferable. You're going to come out of here being a successful student athlete.
First, they said cigarettes were safe. We know how that turned out. Now, they say they didn't market e-cigarettes to teens. Fact, more than 1 in 4 high school students are vaping, and 80% say their first e-cigarette was flavored. Vaping is harmful to developing brains. The reason we think vaping is safe? Marketing. Same lies, different day. Tell Big Vape to quit lying.
The FDA conducts a thorough analysis to ensure that prescription drugs are only approved after 3 phases of clinical trials have shown they are high quality, safe, and work as they should.
Is it okay over there? Is that good?
Jackie boy, look, we have been through a lot together.
Right up before this rain, this rain goes away.
Well, it's just,